What do you think is the most important thing when it comes to Kwikwap?
Knowing the product.
Product knowledge? I'd say setting up a proper appointment. Seeing the right people. The first page is basically, it's a telephone pitch that I set up. This is just a guideline. You can chop and change it. But the object of a telephone call is to set up an appointment, not to sell the product over the phone. Okay? People don't buy over the phone. Or very rarely do people buy over the phone. Think about it, if you put yourself in your customer's shoes, will you buy something over the phone? Not easily, yeah. So the object of the phone call is to make an appointment. So we are creatures of habit or creatures of choice. It's just the way we move. If I phone, I say, good day sir, my name is Peter, I'm calling from a company called Kwikwap. May I please speak to the owner? Now, 9 out of 10 times, if it's not a cell phone number that I phone, I'm phoning the office. Okay, the boss has got a secretary there. Okay. The object is to get through the secretary. Okay, that's the first challenge. Because the secretary has been put there to protect the boss. The boss is not just going to take any call. There's 400 people phoning the same company for all different types of things. So her job is to protect the boss. Okay. Normally she'll tell you in connection with what is it. I have a business proposition I'd like to discuss with you. And 9 out of 10 times she'll put you through because it's business. Okay. But never pitch the secretary. You're wasting your time. You've got to speak to the owner. That's why I love cell phone numbers. Phone the guy, I know I'm speaking to the owner. And I confirm it. Hi sir, my name is so-and-so. Your name? My name's Chris. Chris, are you the owner of AB Electrical, whatever it is? Yes, I am. Great, 100%. This is who I am. Once you've gotten through to the client or the owner, you're speaking to the right person. You've got to give him 2 or 3 benefits that you know that your product has in order for him to give you that appointment. Okay? Benefits of Kwikwap. Quickly, what are the benefits? What are the benefits? Product knowledge, right? Sorry? Self-management. It's easy. The SMS facility. The bulk email facility. Those are all benefits of Kwikwap. Okay? Never pay for updates. So what you say, hi sir, my name is Peter, I'm calling from Kwikwap. I'd like to come and set up an appointment with you for 10 to 15 minutes of your time. We have a product whereby we issue websites to businesses, self-manageable websites with a built-in SMS facility, with a built-in email facility. You never have to pay for updates. I will save you a lot of money. Give me 10 or 15 minutes of your time. Once you've said that, what you then do is you're giving a choice. You don't wait for him to respond, you tell him. I have an opening on Monday or Tuesday, or I've got an opening on Wednesday or Thursday. Which day will suit you? Thursday. Great. 9:30 or 11, or 2 o'clock or 3:30. 2 o'clock. Great. I'll see you at 2 o'clock on Thursday. Would you please diarise that? Goodbye. I'll see you then. Boom. Done. The appointment is set. You don't have to confirm. Yeah, you just get the address, that's all. But 9 out of 10 times, you're phoning off a business card, you'll have the address. But yes, just confirm the address. Then you don't have to confirm that appointment. I never confirm appointments. Once I've set the appointment, I go to the guy's office. Get to his office. If he's not there, I'll get his secretary to phone him. Hi, so-and-so is here to see you. If he's not there, I'll do a follow-up appointment. Then he owes me one. Okay. But this is just a guideline. I don't know how you guys set up appointments, but just use it. It works. Okay. Okay. Champion salespeople. Okay, we're in the sales profession. Okay, we're entrepreneurs here, all of us. Because you've seen an opportunity that Kwikwap has to offer. And you just take advantage of it. Learn the skills, improve your skills, and you'll sell. Anybody will buy this product. Anybody. Okay. Most importantly, I feel that you've got to look the part. You've got to look professional. What is professional appearance? This is how I go see clients. Okay, I like to not get dressed up on a Saturday all the time, but this is how I go and see clients. And I don't do this to impress you, but I do it to show you that I'm serious. When I go see a client, he's probably dressed up already. He's got his bell bottoms, or he's got his whatever you call those suspenders, and he's got a tie and all that. Because you might go see an MD of a big organization. Okay, so it's called power dressing. Once you walk in there, if you're better dressed than your client, you've got the upper hand. It's just the way it works. Okay. Another thing, when you're setting up an appointment, this is something that I learned many years ago. I don't sit down on a phone. I don't know why, but I was told many years ago by the person that did telesales training with me, that said, when you phone a client, don't sit down. Because if you're phoning a client, I bet you 9 out of 10 times he's sitting down at his office or at his desk or in his car. So I stand up. Because when I stand up, I've got an advantage. It's just that I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say, but he's sitting, I'm standing, I'm higher. Maybe it's a crazy way of thinking, but it works. And get excited on the phone. You've got 2 minutes to make an impression, to get that appointment. And that is the object of the call, is to get the appointment. If he doesn't give you an appointment, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Phone the next number. Carry on, carry on, carry on. Selling is a numbers game. It's a numbers game. The more people you see, the more right people you see, the more chances you have of closing. Because that's what it's about. It's about closing, isn't it? It's all about the sale. So, characteristics of a champion: the appearance. You've got pride in yourself. You're confident. You've got warmth. You don't come across as arrogant. You've got warmth. Self-assurance. And you've got to decide how much money you want to make. There's no boss that's going to tell you, listen, you got to do X amount of sales a month. Okay, it's your own business. You decide. I want to earn 20,000 Rand this month. What do I need to do? I need to close 8 websites. How many sites? 8 websites. How am I going to do that? I need a plan. You always need a plan to get your goal. Okay, professional salespeople, people in the sales industry have got goals. Write down goals. Goal setting, but realistic goals. So in order to earn 20,000 Rand a month, I need to sign 8 websites. In order to do 8 websites a month, I need to see at least 5 people a day. Okay. 5 people a day, right people. With this product, I believe you'll close 4 out of 5. Okay, if your presentation is right. You'll close 4 out of 5. Worst case scenario, average, 1 out of 5. Okay, the statistics show that out of 5 people that you see, you'll at least close 1. So these are just average figures to work on. You might have a good run in a week and see 5 clients a day, 25 clients, and close 10 of them. You've got 10 websites, your target's done. But there's nobody that's going to force you to do what you don't want to do. That's where discipline comes in. When an appointment bombs, do something proactive that's going to move you forward to your next step. It's easy to say, oh, my appointment bombed, I'm going to have some coffee, or I'm going to have lunch. That's when you've got to sit down and make an appointment. Time is money. Okay, and if you think that way, it will become a habit. And that's all it is, it's habits, changing your habits. What separates the average from the good from the great? Okay, a champion salesperson's characteristics are following. Burning desire to achieve. Okay, it's something inside of you, you've got to have a reason. Why are you doing this business? Why? For what reason? To make money. And what's driving you? I mean, if you've got kids, you want a better future for them, that's your driving force. Find a reason that's going to make you work when you don't want to work. Okay. They do what they fear most. Who's got a fear of cold calling? knocking on doors.
Not a problem. She's on there.
You had it. There's a guy by the name of... Sorry?
Don't fear it, but you don't like it.
Yeah.
Something.
But normally when you do something that you don't like, that's when you grow. It's because there's a guy by the name of Robert Kiyosaki, and I always mention him because he's sort of a role model to me. He's known as the financial guru. He's built a good empire. He's written a couple of books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Sales Dogs, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing, a couple of them. But when he took a job, he was a very shy Japanese guy that came from Japan, immigrated to America. Just telling you a little bit of a story of the background of him. He was very shy, and he could never talk to people. That was his fear. He could never talk to people. He was always the guy sitting in the back corner. But what he did was when he got a job as a copier salesman, because doing a job as a copier salesman, he was forced to go and knock on doors. Cold calling. It's something that he feared, but you do something that you fear to overcome it. Then knocking on doors or cold calling becomes second nature. It's just a mind thing. Now this is a difficult one. Keep enthusiasm while you're failing. Who's seen 5 or 10 clients and all of them say no? I'm not interested. Anybody?
I've found like 20 on one day.
Not interested. Yeah. What I do then is I take a break. I go and have a cup of coffee or whatever. Take a break. Phone 20 numbers. Guys, give me a call. Go take a break. If you come back, you'll get appointments. It's just sometimes you just need to take a break. Because the next 5 you might call, you'll get all 5 appointments. It's just the way it works. Numbers there. Okay, people love people. They love people, but they use money. Okay, do it for the passion of it. When you go see a client, act as if you're the owner of the business. Act as if you are the owner of the business. Because if you put yourself in his shoes, and he's in a sense that you're not there just to get 2,500 rand out of him. You're there to benefit his business. It'll come across. And a presentation is not, yes, it's got a set sequence of how to present, but it's not by the book. It's a conversation. A presentation is a conversation. That's basically what it is. You've got to break the ice, become his friend. In 2-3 minutes, you've got to become that person's friend. And then you can do whatever you want because he trusts you. They don't take rejection personally. Okay. If a person says no to a product or a service, he's saying no to the product or service because he feels or he thinks that it won't benefit his business. It's not about you. It's not about your presentation. It's not about how good you do it or how bad you do it. Remember, your client doesn't know anything about your presentation or your product. So you can't do anything wrong. What you tell him is what you know, is what you believe, is what he's going to believe. Okay. Salespeople, what do we sell? You always sell the benefits. Benefits, benefits, benefits. So don't take rejection personally. A lot of us do, and you think, oh, no, you're like such an idiot, or whatever, But he's saying no to the product because he can't see value in it. If you create enough value, find out what his problem is in his business. Find a problem, find a benefit in your product that gives a solution. The sale is done. Okay. I can tell you now already, I'm just guessing here, but 70 to 80% of people that have websites have got one major problem. Can anybody tell me what that problem is? maintenance, updates. It costs me a fortune just to pay for that update. Once I pay you an extra 400 rand to load 5 photos.
The other problem is they're not being found on Google.
Yes, optimization. Yeah, so those are problems that you can create. Okay, a professional salesperson creates a problem. If he doesn't give you a problem, you create a problem. Because every business has got what I call, I call it AIDS, anti-income deficiency syndrome. Okay, because everybody wants to make more money. A business is there to make more money. So, you create a problem. You know what the problems are of what people out there. You know, like you mentioned now, of search engine optimization will not find on Google. They can't do updates. They pay a fortune for updates. They don't have an SMS facility. Okay, I tell a client that's got a website already. It also depends on the client, who it is. But I normally tell the client, I say to him, your website is a pamphlet on the internet. If you can't control your website, you can't control your business. Your Kwikwap website you control. You can SMS people, you can email people, you can start hunting for clients. Then it's a tool that you can use. Any other website is a pamphlet on the internet and you hope somebody sees it.
Don't you think people get defensive over that like that?
Depends on how you say it. It depends on how you say it.
It's
It's-
Irish.
Yeah, but you don't say it to everybody like that, you know, up front. There's other ways of saying it. Are you found on Google? Now I'm on page 30. Do you see that as a problem? Yes, I do. Let me show you what I can do for you. There's a problem already I've created. He's given me a problem that he's on page 30 of Google. Or the guy that gave him the website he's never seen again. That's a classic, because then you can come in and service. Service, service, service. Your product's important and your service. Your after-sales service is the most important thing. Because there are 450,000 other people that are doing what we do. They're selling advertising on the internet. They're selling websites. Every Tom, Dick and Harry is doing websites from home. Study graphic design or whatever, you know, everybody's doing it. So, service and product. But service is the most important. Phone your client. How are you doing? How's business? He's your friend. You know, nobody else does it. So that's going to set you a level apart. Because a lot of people just go in what I call the hit and run. Hit the guy for 2,500 rand and gone, or hit him for 6,000 or 10,000 or 5,000, whatever. And the guy never hears about anybody else again, you know, and then he sits. So that's an opportunity.
Sorry, can I just add to that?
Yeah.
What I do is, once I see a client is developing their website, I go in on their website and either, depending on what they've set up, I either just send them an email and say, wow, I like what you've done, here's a couple of heads for ergonomics or what looks better, or I actually go into, if they've got comments on their products, I leave a comment there so they experience more aspects of the site. Or I go to the contact me form and just give them feedback about the site they've developed. That immediately opens a channel and the person feels free to contact me and say, wow, I want to do this, how do I do that kind of thing? It's
Yeah.
flowing interaction. So I actually go to the client's website and through the website, so A, they experience what it looks like when they get a contact form, when they get a comment on the product or something.
Yeah, that's good. You see, that's something else as well, because you just got to keep that line of communication open.
It also makes them feel proud of what they've done so far.
Yes.
The moment a person feels proud of what they've done, they're going to splash it out.
Yeah. And then referrals will come, I promise you. I promise you. You service one client properly, and you will get calls like this. Okay, I've got one client who's given me 4 websites. One client, 4 sites. It happens. But it's that service, you know.
I just want to add that some of these are on new agents.
Yeah.
I've been with 2.5 years, or I don't know how long, Edward. But I know what Kwikweb is. you come from the Google industry selling contracts and pay. You know how valuable this product is.
Yeah.
I think the newer agents, if you have more experience, you're gonna know how great this product is. There was a time my closing rate was 8 out of 10. If I can just get that appointment.
Yeah.
So, but that's gonna come with time.
Yes.
But if you guys can just understand what we're giving people for 2,500 rand.
Yeah.
Okay. But the people must know what Google is and might want to be on Google.
Yeah.
But yesterday I was sitting with a client and they were telling me blah 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 what their story is. Well, you're so lucky to meet me.
Yeah.
That flows naturally of the time, but I don't think the agents must just first realize how good Kwikwap is.
Yeah, product knowledge is important. Learn about the product, because if you are 110% sold, you're going to be sold on the product that you sell. If you're 100% sold on the whole Kwikwap website idea, you'll sell it like this. Because people will feel that energy. You're passionate about it. You know what you're talking about. Learn about the product. You know, phone the agent that recruited you, probably knows more about it. I went out with the agent that actually recruited me to go and see how he presented, what he did. You know, learn from people. Because the more you can learn, I can learn something from a brand spanking new Kwikwap agent. Because you could do something in your presentation that I've never seen before, and I say, okay, let me try it, it might work. And it's application. You just apply that little phrase or whatever. Apply it. Trial and error, it works. But there's nothing like experience. But experience will come gradually. And repetition is the mother of all skill. Practice your presentation. I used to talk to myself in the mirror. I used to present to my wife, I used to present to my dog, whoever. Just present, practice it, because the more you practice it, like this telephone pitch now, phone, you know, hi, I'm so-and-so, try it. Try it, and you'll get it right, you know. Invest in education. Okay, champion salespeople invest in education and are students of techniques. Techniques is exactly what I said now. Is I might see something, the technique that you use when you close a client, and I might pick it up and I'll say, okay, great, I'm going to use that next time, see how it works. And it'll probably work for me. Because a good salesperson or a champion salesperson has got a few good techniques that work for him or her. And that's what you need. Once you've got the presentation to a T and you know how to follow the procedures, closing will come naturally. It will come naturally. But you've got to have that attitude of close, move on. Don't close, still move on. Move on. You know, you've got to be like a whirlwind, you know. Go through the numbers. If you're going to see only 5 clients a month, you're going to close 1, hopefully. The more clients you see, the more closes you'll have. What knowledge do you need to have? Number 1, knowledge of the product. Okay? Knowledge of the business. Try and find out how the back part of the business works. You know, there's a survey, this. Ask questions. Learn about your industry. Also learn about the business that you're going to see. If I'm going to see a plumber, I have to know a little bit about his industry. Because if I know a little bit about his industry, I can relate to him. If you can relate to a client, they're going to open up. If I go see the owner of whoever, it could be a flooring guy, guys that does flooring. If I don't know anything about his industry, I'll first ask him about his business. What do you do? How do you do it? You know, how does it work? Because then you're interested in his business. If you're interested in his business, it opens the door. Remember, your objective there is to close the deal. But there's other things that you need to do before you get to, you know, you don't want to be like a pit bull, just go in and go right, yeah, just take it. No, it's a knowledge of financing or payments, payment methods. Okay. Fortunately, you don't have this thing of paying over 6 months or 20 months or whatever. There's only two methods of payment. Cash or EFT. Which of the two do you prefer?
Cash.
Okay. But you tell your client's going to ask you, when do I need to pay the $2,500? When can you do that for me, sir? Not, oh, can you do it for me by the night? No. When can you do it for me? I'm answering a question with a question. He's giving me the buying signal now that he is saying, when do I need to pay you? When would you like to pay me? How do I pay you? How would you like to pay me? Cash or EFT? I'll do EFT tomorrow morning. Great. Take out the paperwork, start putting in the paperwork. Okay.
Sorry. I want to ask something. Do you ask for a deposit or not at all?
No, I don't work with deposits. It's just a lesson that I've learned. Funny enough, the very first client that I went to go see on my own, I'll tell you a little bit about the story. I was supposed to go see the mother, the father, the daughter that I actually pitched about the website. Basically the three of them. When I got to the appointment at 8 o'clock at night, okay, 8 o'clock at night, I sat down and the father and the daughter was there. The mother was not there. Daughter phoned the mother, said, now I'm on my way. In the meantime, I started my presentation because now I've spoken to them, they've opened up, we've chatted about it, I've got a guest house. I sat down, I started doing the presentation. Okay. Halfway through my presentation, the mother comes up. Hi, great, 100%. She has not seen my presentation from the beginning. She comes in halfway. I then had to go back and recap. And that's what you do, because that person that came in was the decision maker. She was the decision maker. You got to know who the decision maker is. If you know who the decision maker is, great. When you're presenting to him or her, it's the right person. Went back, I recapped. At the end of my presentation, I asked for the R2,500 up front. And she said to me, wat gebeur as jy my geld vat en jy verdwyn? Okay, don't get onto the back foot. What you say is, I understand. It's happened to you before, hasn't it? Yes, it has. Great. I understand where you're coming from. What I am prepared to do for you, and only you, is that I will ask you for 1,500 rand now up front. I'll design your website for you. I will set an appointment now with you for a week's time for the training session, of which then I will require my 1,000 for the training. Is that fair? Yes, great. Welcome aboard. Do the paperwork. Okay, you'll suss out your clients. Some people have been bit hard in the past. You know, but it's a risk that you're willing to take. Split it then. Say 1,500 rand, 1,000 rand. Split it. Okay. Because once you've done that and you followed through with what you said, you set up the website, a week later you phone for an appointment, you've built up credibility, you've built up trust. Solved. They won't doubt you again. Okay, but yes, it's happened. A lot of people have been taken for a big ride, but that's an opportunity again for you to make a difference. Be different.
If you ask for the 1,500, when do you do the paperwork? Only when you get the last 1,000 rand?
No,
You debit order and things like that?
I'll do it immediately. When I sit down to do my presentation, the first thing I take out is my contract book. Before I even take out my laptop. Take out my contract book, I put it in front on the desk so they can see it. Okay, because I'm there to do business. Alright, take out your contract book, you take out your invoice. As soon as they've given you the yes, your pen's got to be ready. Your equipment, you've got to be ready. Because it takes a split second for them to have a doubt. Okay? Your pen's got to be ready, you do the paperwork. It's not a contract, it's paperwork. You never use words like contract and deposit and cash, and it's a contribution. Monthly investment or whatever. It's not. People don't like contracts. Don't sign this for me, please. Authorize it. Give me your approval. Those are different words that you can use. People don't like signing things because you're signing your life away. All right. Don't use words like that, but we'll get to the words later. Benjamin Franklin said that we change the environment by changing the inner space of our minds. Okay, learn. Be in the sales profession. Read books about sales. Find out who the top salesperson is in the world. Get his book, read it. Because the more you read about the profession or the thing that you want to become, you'll become it. If you want to become an astronaut, you go read up about being an astronaut. You know, it's the same thing. Sales is the same thing. If you empty the coins in your purse into your mind, into your education, your mind will fill your purse with coins. It always comes back to you, and you'll make more money because now you've learned something. So what I would recommend is read a sales book every month. Anything. Read a sales book every month. Read one every week if you can. The more you read up, the more you'll get techniques. There's a couple of good books that I've read or that I'm busy reading. Has anybody heard of Zig Ziglar? One of the top American salespeople in the world. He's got a book, Zig Ziglar's Secrets of Closing the Sale. This is a good book. It's got over, I think, 140 different closing techniques, over 700 different phrases or whatever that you could use. Another book is Og Mandino is the author. He actually commented on this book, and he said that it will upgrade the performance of salespeople and non-salespeople all over the world. Og Mandino, the best-selling author of The Greatest Salesman in the World. Og Mandino wrote a small little book, it's a thin book like this, called The Greatest Salesman in the World. It's also got good tips in that. And the other book is Sales Dogs by Sales Dogs by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay. Profession called selling. Selling has got one thing in common. The product or the service is bought by people. Okay, people buy things or services every day. Cell phone contracts, cars, laptops, computer, whatever. They buy it every day. The art of selling or the art of persuasion, because that's what selling is you've got to persuade the client to buy your product. The art of persuasion is how you can adapt techniques that you learn in selling. You apply it to your product. If you can apply your techniques to your product, you'll close. Okay. Selling is a daily challenge. Every day you've got to wake up and tell yourself, it's a good day, I'm going to close today, it's great, I feel good. I think a lot of us listen to ourselves more than what we talk to ourselves. When you listen to yourself, there's a little thought that comes in the back of your mind that tells you, oh, you're useless or you whatever. Don't stop listening to yourself. Start telling yourself who you are or who you want to become. I used to go to appointments and I used to tell myself I was a champion. I'm the top salesperson in this company. And I started confessing that all the time. And until I believed it. Because if your mind can believe it, you will achieve it. I'm not saying that I am the best, but I believe that I am the best. It's what you believe. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. People always try and bring you down all the time. Get away from negative people. Go and sit in a corner and talk to yourself. Okay, it works. If you think of the opportunity that you have, this is a great business opportunity. Because it takes low capital investment. And high potential earning. There's no ceiling to what you can earn. If you want to earn 50,000 Rand a month, you can do it, provided you do the work. They say that sales is the highest paid hard work and lowest paid easy work. You've got to work smart, not hard. So there's techniques that you use. The referral system. How many of you have asked your clients for referrals once you've closed them? There and then. Great, welcome aboard. Thank you for the opportunity. Do you know anybody else that could benefit from a product like mine or like yours? Because he's just bought your product. Yeah, great. I bought my furniture from so-and-so. Bought my computer from so-and-so. Go and see them. Okay. Even go as far as getting your client to set up an appointment with the guy you're supposed to go see. Don't do it all the time, but you can do it sometimes. Because if I know Edward, and you tell me, listen, you must go and see Edward. And you tell me, listen, phone Edward quickly and tell him that I want to come see him. I'll just pick up the phone and say, hi Edward, it's Peter, listen, I've got, you know, with Lonnie here, she just showed me a good product, you need to see her. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. He just knows that his friend has recommended this person to come and see him. The appointment is set. There. When you get there, your foot's in the door. Then closing the second sale is easy because your friend has just bought the product. Don't you want what your friend wants? Yeah, I do. You grow in direct proportion to your abilities and skills. Okay? No one limits your growth but you. If you want to earn more, learn more. Learn closing techniques, learn opening questions, learn. The more you learn, the more you can apply that, what you learn, the more you'll earn. Promise you. Professional salesperson has no limits to growth. Salespeople will grow in direct proportion to their competence. Okay. If you can become competent at what you're doing, opening, closing questions, etc., become good at that, you will do that. You will close, and then it becomes a habit. When I go to see a client, I've got an expectation. I expect him to buy my product. If you expect that, you'll get it. Every client I see, I expect him to buy it. Because I'm sold on my product. I know what it's about. I know what it can do for his business. If he gives you an objection, what is an objection? Anybody know? It's something that the client can't see value in what you're telling him. So he's objecting to that. He's saying, oh, I can't afford it, or I need to speak to my wife, or I can't give out that sort of thing. You know, it's because he doesn't understand. He can't see the value. Then you've got to go back, create credibility. That's where the hard work comes in. Worst case scenario is you say, listen, ek stel nie belang nie, vat jou goed en go, you know, and then you take your stuff and you go. Alright, but it usually doesn't happen because it's not a hard sale. The product's good. If the guy can afford it, and I mean everybody can afford it. R2,500 rand is not even a car payment. Okay, people are paying that every month. 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 rand a month on a car. So it's about creating value for. He's got to see value in what he's buying and see the benefits. If you can see that, it's done. Okay, this is actually scary. To think that some of the top salespeople in the world earn more money than people that have got a good profession like a doctor, a lawyer, etc. It's a fact. You've got freedom as a salesperson. I mean, that's the beauty of it. If I want to go see a client tonight at 8 o'clock, I can go. If I want to go see a client now, I can go. Nobody's telling me what to do. It's my business. I can do with it what I want. Champion salespeople have got a good attitude, discipline, which is the most important thing. If things happen in the day, let's say you've got 3 appointments, and your first appointment bombed, do something productive. Be disciplined. Use that time to set up another appointment. Don't get demotivated and say, oh, I know it's not going to see me. My second appointment's probably going to bomb as well. And my third one, I might as well go home and sleep. Okay, just be proactive. Do something productive that's going to move you forward to your goal. Remember, your goal is to get 8 sales a month, to earn 20,000. Okay, write down, I will earn 20,000 Rand this month. I will earn 20,000 Rand this month. When you close a client, in your diary you write that, close 2,500 Rand. Okay, get a spreadsheet. Create a spreadsheet of all your clients. How much they've paid you, how much is outstanding, and your hosting fees and everything. Keep a record, a track, so you know. I need 8 sales, going to bring me in so much. Then at least you've got a visual, you visualize. If you can see what's going on in your books, you can say, yes, you know what? I've done 8 clients this month, only 4 have paid me. Let me go sign another one. And it pushes you that extra mile. You might close 10. You'll close 11, 12. Okay, it's a process of growth, and you'll get there. An instinct for survival. Okay. When times are tough, survive. It's easy to get negative. Easy. It's easiest. Get around people that are doing well then. Find somebody that, you know. Because when you're down, only that somebody that's up can bring you up. If you're down, you can't go lower. The ultimate feeling for a salesperson is to close. I mean, when you close your first deal, didn't you like it? Yes, I did it. Right?
And it was only for 500 Rand there, per website.
Whatever it was. It's that
Not a lot
feeling,
of
it's like a
money.
rush, you know, I did it. And that's what it's about. It's got to be like an adrenaline rush every time you close. It's got to become habit. Okay, it will become habit. Okay. There's a movie that I watched that I will recommend. It was drilled into my head, and I still watch it now and then. It's a movie called Boiler Room. I mentioned it last time as well. Vin Diesel plays in it. I never knew that, but I was quite surprised. All the objections that those people get on the phone, it's things that you will get out in the field. I'm not in the market right now to buy, I need to speak to my wife, or my partner's not here, I can't make a decision on my own, blah, blah, blah. But it's a good movie to watch in order to see what will happen in reality when you go and see a client. Okay, these people sell over the phone. They're selling shares over the phone. And it's good to watch because it's exciting. Yeah. Watch the movie. There's a little bit of swearing, but the point of it is get the meat of it. And it's a good movie to watch to see what happens in the sales industry. And that's one thing I learned from that movie was ABC. Okay. Always be closing. Always be closing. When you go see a client, you need to close. ABC, always be closing, always be closing. You've got in your mind, you've got that end result. You need to close. But then I added another thing, always be caring. You've got to care about that person's business. If you're there to benefit him, he'll see that. And he'll buy from you. If he doesn't want to buy from you now, I promise you, a month later, when some other idiot goes and sees him, and he'll remember you. You know, and he'll phone you. Probably phone, listen, I'm ready to do it, let's go. But you don't beg for business. You don't need business. Okay, if you go there and you think, I don't need business, but I value your business. If you give me this opportunity to give you this product, you won't regret it. You know, so you value their business. And I haven't told many clients, but some clients do get arrogant because I don't know, it just happens. Okay? Because it's something in the past that I've been knocked for a lot of money, they've been taken from. Remember, everybody's done it. So you've got to see opportunity. And when the client says to me, listen, what am I going to say? Yeah. The client will be arrogant and he'll say to you, listen, I forgot what I was going to say. Anyway.
He says he's been taken for a ride before, made a deposit, and the guy disappeared.
Yeah.
Website didn't work. That's a common.
That's a common, you know, but those are opportunities to sell. Remember, the problem is there already. If you realize and you confess it to you, listen, I've got a problem with my website. This is my problem. Great. Is that your only problem? Good. Let me show you what my product can do. Because you're going to see already that your product has benefit to his problem already. The sale is done. And look, for what we offer, it's cheap, eh? 12,000 Rand is cheap. Okay, there's some people that still can't afford it because they're just starting out and cash flow and whatever. But it's not a lot of money for what you're getting. It's not at all. Some guys fall over backwards and I tell them it's 2,500. Because the standard guy that works from home is charging just for design between 5,000 to 6,000 Rand. Just for designing, that's not even hosting and all that. And then he's got a pamphlet after that. Okay, can't do anything with it. Okay, and then focus. This is something that I took the word focus, and I gave myself a, whatever you call that, just to put it in my mind. So when I've got to focus on my business, I've got to focus on what I'm doing. What I've got to do is I've got to fetch one close using my skill. That's what focus stands for me. So when I see the word focus, I'm focused on my business. I've got to get one close a day. One close a day. Okay. And if you apply this, experience is the mother of all skill, repetition. If you keep on doing it, you'll become good at it. And you'll become a lean selling machine. Okay. If you're not lean like me, you'll still be a lean selling machine because it'll just happen like this. Okay. When you go to see a client, you've got to listen more than what you talk. Okay. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You listen twice as much as what you talk. You've got to take control of the situation. How do you take control? By asking questions. You control by asking questions. There's 5 or 6 steps to a complete presentation. First of all, when you get there, is what I call the icebreaker. An icebreaker is something to break the ice to get the guy to warm up to you. Okay, so look around. What does he do? If he's got photos of the 1995 World Cup rugby, that's an icebreaker. If he's got hunting trophies on his wall, that's an icebreaker. You ask him, "Hi, John, yes, wasn't that amazing, the 1995 World Cup?" "Yeah, it was great, I went to the match, blah, blah, blah." He's chatting. He's opened up to you. Do you go hunting often? It's a question. Question. "Yeah, I love hunting." "Great. I mean, ask him a bit about something that you can relate to, create interest in what he's saying or doing. Okay, if your tactics are sound, they can't fight you. If you're being sincere and genuine, you won't get an objection. You gain absolute control with questions. You can't lead somebody to make a decision unless you've decided for them already. Okay, you've got to decide before you go and see the guy, before you present. I've decided now that you are going to buy my product. That's my decision. And the series of questions or what follows is what leads up to my decision that I've made for you. And it's the art of persuasion. The art of persuasion. You gain control, you isolate areas of interest, you acknowledge a fact. A fact could be anything. Do you agree with me that your website's not working for you now? Yes, that's a fact. Okay, how can I help you to make your website work for you? This is what I've got. Do you like my product? Yes. Can you see my product benefiting your business? Yes. Remember, a close is a series of yeses. They say on average you've got to get at least between 8 and 9 yeses in your presentation. That's why we ask so many questions. In order for the client to really be 100% convinced that he's buying the product.
Okay.
You know? So it's a series of yeses. The more yeses you get out of the client, I promise you can ask him anything at the end of the presentation once he's been doing this, he'll give you the money. Okay? You'll do anything you want him to do, provided it's in. Okay, like I said, you receive minor agreements. Yes, all the time. Isolate objections. You know, part of my opening questions, after the icebreaker you get the opening questions. Okay. Opening questions are questions like, how long has your business been in existence? Did you start the business on your own? Where do you advertise? How much do you spend on your advertising? If a person is spending 3,000-4,000 rand a month on advertising, or 1,000 rand a month on advertising, newspapers or magazines or whatever it is, I promise you 2,500 rand is not a lot of money. We'll give you one check and cheers, there you go. Okay. But if a person is not spending at all money on his business, it becomes a challenge in the end, a little bit of a challenge to convince him to spend that 2,500 rand. Okay, but most businesses spend a lot of money on advertising. And then you answer the objection. Okay? I don't know if anybody needs a smoke break, but let me know. Okay. Let's get to the closes. Alright, before we get to the closes, it's opening questions. Questions like that, like alright, should we take a 5-minute break? Just a quick 5-minute break and we can just carry on. What I'm gonna start. Okay. I'm going to talk a little about prospecting. Okay. Where do you find your leads?
Sorry, Peter, before we go, we're busy with your steps, the icebreaker, the
Oh yes, okay. Let me get there. Okay. We did the opening questions, right?
Yep.
Okay. After your opening questions, your next step is qualifying questions. Yeah. Your qualifying questions are questions like, is this the qualified person? Is this the qualified person to make the decision? So the qualification question is like, is there anybody else that needs to be present in order for you to give me a decision today? Or do you make all the decisions? It's a straightforward question, but it's not, they won't get offended. You're asking basically to see if you can make a decision. Is there anybody other than yourself that needs to be present to see my presentation in order for you to give me a decision today? You use today, because you want it today. Alright. Who other than yourself started the business? No, it's just myself 5 years ago. Great. You don't have any other silent partners or anybody like that? No, I make all the decisions. And you know you're talking to the right person. So it's qualifying.
Can you ask who can like to wear the pants in your house?
You can do that as well. You know? Some clients say, oh no, I need to speak to my wife.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
It's a very touchy one. Well, I need to speak to my husband or whatever, you know. Usually if it's a woman running her own business, she needs to speak to the husband because the husband's financing her or helping her out with the salary or something like that, you know. You've got to be very careful there because you can either blow it or she's just giving you an excuse or he's just giving you an excuse. I've tried it once or twice, but I don't always do it. Depends on the client. If the client says to me, I need to think about it, or I need to speak to my wife. If you ask me, I need to speak to my wife, I would then ask him, sorry, so with all due respect, if you go for lunch, you ask your wife what you would buy for lunch. Okay, it sounds rude and arrogant, but it can either backfire or it won't. Okay, because a man's got an ego. Okay, and I'll wear the pants. You know, I make decisions. It's very touchy, but sometimes it works. You know, surely you don't need to speak to your wife to make a decision on 2,500 rand, please. You know, I'm sure she'll be happy to see the end result once you've made a decision. You would agree with me, wouldn't you? Yes, I would. Those are all little questions, tie downs. I'll go through the tie downs in that now. But whatever they say, you've got to tie it down. You've got to create it into a question in order to get a yes. The more yeses you get, the more closes you'll get. Okay, any questions?
Now, I just thought to myself that comment of, surely you don't need to ask your wife. With certain people you can do that. If you have a good
Yes, you can.
ice-breaking
You can.
questions,
Yeah.
the guy, you're a hunter, he's a hunter,
Yeah.
you know the guy perhaps, he's maybe one of your family and friends,
Yeah.
you can probably say that easily.
Yeah. But that's why I say it's borderline. Don't, you know, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot.
Well, if he's going to ask his wife, he's most probably not going to take the site anyway.
Yeah, he's probably
Right.
not. Then he hasn't seen the benefits, and it's just an excuse. Because a person will say anything just to get you out of his office. And once you pick that up, then just take your stuff and go. Because you're wasting your time. You're not going to convince. It's like hitting yourself against a brick wall. You're not going to get through. Then
You
just
can
move
just
on.
as well ask the question.
Just move on. Move on. Leave your card. Thank you for your time. Cheers. You know. Okay, so you've got the qualifying questions. Once you know that you're talking to the right person, then comes your presentation. Now your presentation, what is a presentation? A presentation is a preparation for a close. Okay, that is what a presentation is. A presentation is not show and tell. I'm not going to come and show you something and take my stuff and leave. I'm presenting to you in order to close. If you've got that in the back of your mind that you're presenting to close, you'll close. So a presentation is a preparation for a close. You're preparing the client to give you money for the series of questions that you're going to ask him. Okay. Then you run through your presentation. Okay. I don't know what you guys do with your presentation. My presentation takes about 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes.
What do you do?
What I do is I sit down, I say to him, right, I'm going to show you a couple of websites that I've done. I then open up the Kwikwap website, the homepage. I open up 1 or 2 other websites that I've done. I say to him, right, this is Kwikwap homepage. On the homepage, he sees it. We set up a website for you for 2,500 rand. No updates today. He sees that. I don't even have to tell him how much the website costs. Okay, he knows. In my presentation, eventually I will tell him, I'll ask for 2,500 rand up front. I'll then start designing your website. Within 5 to 7 days, I'll come and see you again for the training. Okay. I will then run through I'll tell him where to log in, username, password. On the Kwikwap website, I'll tell him I'll create a website, username and password for your business, and you put it in there in order to get into the back end of your website. Okay. I'll then put in a username and password of one of my clients, or I use my wife's, because my wife's got a beauty salon. And I can send free SMSs off there because it doesn't cost me, but yeah. I then go into the site and I say, right, this is the back end of the site and this is the front end. Okay. On the back end, then I go through and I show him manage website content. This is what under manage website content is. Look and feel is changing colors, etc. Then I jump from there, I go straight to communication with customers because I know that's a benefit. And then when I get to the communication with customers, I ask him a question. John, wouldn't it be nice in order for you to be able to send SMSs to your clients, letting them know about your monthly specials, your promotions, your buffet lunch on Sunday? It would be nice, wouldn't it? Yes, it would be. I go in, I open up the SMS, send an individual SMS to him. I then show him the custom SMS, the newsletter blog. I normally send the photo gallery. I'll send the photo gallery because if his cell phone is WAP enabled, he follows the link, he sees the same photos that he would see on the site. Okay, if he's not WAP enabled, I'll tell him even the older phones still get the SMS, and then tonight you can go onto your computer and you can follow the link and you'll see the photo gallery. But once I've done that, it's solved, and he's solved, I know he's solved. Because while I'm talking to him, the SMS comes through. And it's usually like a smile on his face.
Peter, yeah, that sounds like a great thing. I just want to quit my job at the head office and start selling.
You can send it to me.
I can just imagine, I won't say his name, but one of our consultants that he's successful, but I know he likes to go through all the different modules,
Yeah,
how to write the newsletter, all that stuff.
yeah,
I think if you spend too long time on that,
yes,
you're boring this guy. He wants to carry on with his work.
yes,
So this thing of going 5 minutes,
yeah,
just show that one thing, get it
Yeah.
done.
yeah.
It just sounds much better than going through,
Absolutely.
starting with, okay, you write the newsletter, you add a product.
Then you type your text in. You can do that later. If you want to go and spend 3 hours with a client later, you can. But don't waste time. Because like Edward was saying, the guy, he's got work, his phone's ringing, or his secretary's making appointments or whatever. You've got to get in, get the close, get out. But yeah, once I've done the communication with customers, I'll send them the SMS. As soon as he gets the SMS, I'll say to him, do you like what you see? Yes, I do. Can you see this benefiting your business? Yes, I do. Then the client asks me a question. How much does it cost? Or what do you charge? I charge 2,500 Rand up front. And I use up front, because that's what I do. 2,500 Rand up front. Oh, great. When do you need it by? When would you like to pay me? Okay, question with a question. Not whenever you can or whenever you feel like paying me. When would you be able to do an EFT, or do you prefer EFT or cash? No, I'll still go and draw the cash now for you. Right, so you go to the bank. Take the client, put it in my car, and I go to the bank. Okay, I've done that. You take the client to the bank, he goes and draws you the money, and it's done. That happens.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've done that as well.
Then you've built up your trust.
Will you take a check?
Sorry?
Will you take a check?
I'll take a cash check.
Yeah.
You want cash? I'll go and cash it. But normally if I say check, what I'll say, look, check's going to cost you money. It'll cost you 15 Rand for that check. Just do an EFT for me. When would you be able to do the EFT for me? I'll do it for you tomorrow night. Great. I'll then take the paperwork once he's filled it in, and I'll go and design his site. I'll register it. Tomorrow morning he gets a welcome letter from Kwikwap. Congratulations, Mr. So-and-so. This is your username, your password, blah, blah, blah. I create his site.
But then there's not really something on the site yet.
Yeah, it's just a shell. It's just a shell. What I also do is once I've signed the paperwork, I ask the client, what can you give me there and then now? Do you have a logo that I can take? Do you have 2 business cards for me? Do you have a letterhead? I get as much information out of the client as I can on the first meeting. Because then I can take that and go populate the site. Okay. If he says he's going to email it to you, great. We'll email it to you. When will you email it to me? Tonight. Brilliant. Tomorrow morning or the next evening, I see he hasn't emailed me or he hasn't done the EFT, I phone him. Hi sir, so-and-so from Kwikwap. How are you doing? I just want to confirm with you, did you send me through the email with regards to the letters and the vision statement, etc.? No, I haven't done it. I'll do it for you now. Okay. Did you manage to do the EFT? No, I'll do it for you now. Okay. And just ask him, because he'll do it. Okay. Once again, if the client is weary, if they've been burnt in the past, then take that risk. 1,500 Rand up front, 1,000 Rand on the training. Do it, you know. At least you've got 1,500 Rand out of it. Okay. So that's in my presentation. I've done the presentation, then is the closing. After the presentation is the close. It happens also that people understand this industry. They've been on the internet, they know about websites, etc., clients that you go and see. You might even jump from opening questions straight on to the close. Okay, that's what I mean is a presentation, it's got a set procedure depending on the client. The client might say to you, listen, I understand all this, how much? And you haven't even showed him the site yet. You've just gone on to kwikwap.co.za. I understand this, how much? I understand I have to do my own updates, and I understand this and I understand that, how much? And you give him the price. Straight away, your close is there. It can take 5 minutes. You do a presentation in 5 minutes. As soon as the client gives you a buying signal, you tie it down and you close it. Buying signal is how much does it cost? 2,500 Rand up front, sir. Would you like to pay EFT or cash? EFT, great. Take out my pen, my paperwork. Do you have 2 business cards for me? 2 business cards? Yes, 2 business cards for me. Take the business card, start writing. The moment you start writing, he's either going to stop you or you're just going to carry on.
Why do you ask for 2 business cards?
I take one. Before, well, we used to have a design department, but
Okay.
it's just a habit. Take 2 business cards because you might misplace the one. And then put it in your folder. I don't know if you've got a sleever or I've got one of those flip folder plastic sheets. Take the paperwork, I take the business card, I slot it in there, and take my thing and I've got it. And the other business card I put in my pocket. And that's how you create business cards. You know, but yeah, that's why I asked for 2 business cards. Because that's a going ahead, it's a going ahead question. As soon as I ask you, do you have 2 business cards for me, please? And I've got my contract in front of me and I've got my pen in my hand. The pen's going to be like maybe like a samurai sword. It's got to be ready. You know, as soon as it gives you that, it's got to be in your hand already. Then either 1 or 2 things are going to happen. He's either going to go ahead with it, or if you rush the close, the client might say to you, listen, whoa, would you what mark you know? All right. If they ask you what mark you know, you say to him, sir, I'm booking your space for you. Okay? If he stops you, then there's an objection. He's objecting to something that you've said. Then you've got to put down your paperwork, and you've got to find out what his problem is. Because if he's fully solved, he'll let you go on. Put in your ID number. So just leave your bank details. Boom. There's a pen. Put in the bank details for you. Okay. Another question that you can ask to lead to the close. What would you like your domain to be? www.yourbusiness.co.za. Great. Would you like 1 email or 3 emails? No, just 1 email. Great. The 1 email is for free first. The first one's for free, sir. Would you like it to be info@yourbusiness? Yes. Info@yourbusiness. Your ID number, please. Your ID number is da 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 da. You write the company name, and you turn it around, you say to him, I just need bank details, and the client will then fill in his bank details for you. You run through it step by step. I need you to authorize it for me, authorize it. As soon as it's authorized, bank capacity, great. 100%, welcome aboard. Close is done.
Sorry, Peter, another thing I do also for the client on site is when he decides on a domain name, is I go straight into the Google server,
Yeah,
where's.co.za, and because often the names are taken,
yeah,
and then you can zip, and I think it makes it easier for you guys as well if you're
Yeah. yeah, it does, yeah. What I do is, yeah, that's also brilliant. You can go straight on. While you're busy with presentation and you've asked him for the domain, so to him, let me just check if it's available. That you can also use to close.
Yeah.
It's a great closing technique because you go and you say, right, listen, Smith's Wholesalers is not taken yet.
Yeah.
I need to book that space for you now. Great, there we go.
Can be taken any moment.
Yeah, there's 300 other agents that do what I do. You know? There's 300, there's got to be an urgency.
Yeah.
There's got to be an urgency for the sale. If the urgency is created, the sale comes done. It's easy. Right, yeah, so it's icebreaker, opening questions, closing, qualifying questions, presentation, and close.
Peter, I just want to ask you this. So the moment you get the buying signal,
Yes.
is it the best to try and close as soon as possible and get out of there
Yeah.
before he thinks of an excuse
Yes.
or gets buyer's remorse or
Yes.
get a buying signal,
You close it.
close,
easy.
stuff that paper in front of him and get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I know.
Yeah, it's because what you can do is you can oversell.
Oversell.
Okay. Overselling is the biggest mistake you can make. Because the guy can see the benefits. He understands what you're selling him. As soon as he gives you that buying signal, you close it. Take out your paperwork and you start doing the paperwork. You get out of it. Otherwise, you get buyer's remorse. And it's just going to make the right decision. Okay, it's not a lot of money. 2,500 rand, I believe, is not a lot of money for what you're getting. But for some people, it is. But if you've done your job properly and you've created ease in that client's mind, you won't get cancellations. You won't. A buying signal, there's body language that you'll pick up. People say 90% of what they say with their body, 10% is speech. Buying signals are signals like the guy's playing with his chin. That's a buying signal. Okay, he's playing with his pin, it's a buying signal. Then what you do is you just take out your paperwork and you start writing. One of two things is going to happen. He's either going to say, well, what you're doing, or he's going to say, right, here's my business cards. Okay, he's either going to stop you or he's not going to stop you. Okay. If a person sits with his hands behind his head like this, he's already made a decision on what you've told him. Okay. What you do in that case is you imitate your clients. Okay, clients are closed. Some clients are closed. You've got to get him out of that. Okay. You might be talking to a client and he does this. Yeah. He's not listening to you. He's not. And what you do is you mimic him. You do the same. Great, how's business? Good. You know what? If I do that, you'll probably do the same. And as soon as he does that, he's open. Person closes his arms, he's not 100% listening to what you say. So those are just, if he's done this, he's already made a decision on what you do. I then take my pen, I put it down, and I do this as well. Then he looks at me and he says, oh, what is that doing? And I say, let me just show you quickly. And then I go back, because I draw him in. I say, come, let me show you. And as soon as he does this, and he's looking and he's concentrating, because it's involvement. Selling is an involvement process. Selling is not telling. Okay, it's involvement. You've got to get your client involved. I would even sometimes let the client do something on the site, depending on, I'll say to him, go click on change the background. Let's make it red. And I'll tell him, press Control F5. Presses Control F5. Website refreshed, it's red. He's impressed. Wow. It's part of his training already. He's done it. He's sold. Because he can do it himself. Okay. Okay. Now you get closing techniques or different types of closing. There's a whole lot of them. There's just a couple here, but if you go through the sales books and you read up on them, there's a million closing techniques. Close one is the tie down. Okay? The definition of that is the question at the end of the statement that demands a yes or isolates an objection. Okay? Remember, an objection is a problem that the client has with his current product. Or he doesn't understand what you're saying. Okay? It's too much money. Okay? A tie down would be then, if I could make it more affordable for you, would you be willing to do business with me? Tie down is if I could make it more affordable. The problem is cost. If I can make it more affordable for you, would you be willing to give me an opportunity? Yes, I would. Great. Remember, it requires a yes or a no. That's a tie down. It becomes a speech habit. Okay, practice. It's just practice, practice, practice. In order to be able to SMS your clients off your website, it would be nice, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. It would be able to create more business for you, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Okay, so these are little tie downs at the end that you can say, like, aren't they? Hasn't he? Couldn't it? Isn't that right? If you could get a website that works for you, you'd be happy with it, wouldn't you? Yes, I would. Okay, so it's little questions at the end, because the more questions, the more control we have. Don't you agree? Shouldn't it? So these are all little things that you can put on at the back or the front of the question or the statement Some clients used to tell me in the past, listen, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, isn't it? Yes, it is. But let me tell you what I'm going to do for you. I normally charge my clients $2,500. What I'm prepared to do for you today is, I'm willing to take the risk because I want to build a business relationship with you first. I want to build a business relationship with you first. Okay. I'm prepared to give you this at 1,500 or 2,000. You decide what you're willing to do. Okay. You might not closing for 2.5, you're closing for 1.5. But you're still going to do the side. It's better than that. Okay, so take the risk. Don't be greedy. Remember, you're there to help him. I've sold a website for 1,500 Rand. But I don't care. You know, at least I know when he gets the website, he's going to be impressed with it. Because I'm going to show him that he can go onto his site and send SMSs. You can go onto the site and you can make changes. Wow. You know. I had a client that told me, I told him I'll give you 1,500 Rand. I mean, he asked me to go out and take photos for him. I went out and the whole day, from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and I went and took photos for him, for his website. He then told me, he said, listen, you've helped me a lot. Don't you want a little bit extra for the website? I said, fine, but it's like for 2,000. That's fine, great. He offered out of himself. I already made a decision of 1,500 because I got my money and I know it's done. But he's offered me an extra 500 because of the effort that I put in to go take out photos for him. Where if you had to go and get a professional photographer to do it, it would cost him 750, 1,000 Rand. Easy. Okay. All right. Then you get the inverted tie down. Inverted tie down is putting the tie down on the front for more warmth. Okay, so instead of saying da 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 da, isn't it, or da 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 da, wouldn't you agree? You know, wouldn't you agree with me that having a website that can send SMSs would be a benefit to your company? Yes, it would. Okay, so what you do is you bring the question in front. So that's all it is. Those techniques are just front, back, front, back. That's how you use the tie down. The tie down tag on. Okay, these are just fancy little words for it, but they say it, you tie it down. Okay? Get complete minor agreements. In other words, the guy says to you, you know what? Yes. I wish I could update my own website. It would be nice to update your own website, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. You said it. It's a benefit that my company, that my product has. I tie it down to get a yes out of it. Okay, again, you put it in front or back or whatever. Question of the question. Alternative choice or alternative close. Okay, this is brilliant. When I started out in selling, this is what I picked up. It was easy for me, and I used it, and it worked for me, and it will work for you as well. Because whatever you say or whatever he says, it means that he's going ahead with it. Okay. Alternative close is, excuse me. I have a package, the whole package costs 2,500 Rand for a website. Okay. But I'm running a special this month. I can do it for you for 1,500. Would you return off or 1,500? No, 1,500. Great, welcome aboard. 2 business class, please. Okay. It's 2 choices. Either choice is saying that he's going ahead with it. Okay, whether he chooses the one or the other one. Do you want a Coke or do you want a Sprite? No, I want a Coke. Great, there we go. It's the same thing. It's 2 choices. Either choice is going to give you the close. That's the alternative close. And it works like a bomb. It's easy. Normally, even if you're in the beginning, just to get into the closing habit, discount your clients. You know, use it. Say to him, look, I normally charge 2,500 Rand for the website up front, but what I'm prepared to do for you today is, I'm prepared to give it to you at 2,000 Rand, provided we do the paperwork now. Now let's do the paperwork. Done. Then it's the porcupine. Okay. Porcupine is a question that buyers must ask themselves after they own your product or service. If they ask questions before they own it, it confirms they're going ahead. A porcupine is a question, answering a question with a question. I gave an example earlier where a guy says, can I do a EFT or pay you cash? Which of the two do you prefer? Okay, that's a porcupine. Which of the two do you prefer? Would I be listed on Google? Would you like to be listed on Google? Yes, I would. Great. Let's go ahead.
Do you tell them anything about Google optimization in your pitch and training?
I do. Some of the clients ask me this, and will I be listed on Google, or how does the Google thing work? I say to them, look, because this is what I've learned now from what I know about the product, is I tell them that you can go and do a Google campaign if you want. It's going to cost you extra money. Okay, but the content of your website, the text that you use in your website is important. So the more text that you put in your website, the higher you'll go up in the rankings. Okay, it takes between 4 to 6 weeks. Am I right in saying that?
But shorter now.
A bit shorter, but I normally say 4 to 6 weeks in order for Google to pick you up. But I tell you now that if you work on your site frequently and you do updates, after a year you've got 100 pages on your website, your rankings will improve. Okay, because content. And then what I tell them is that this is how Google works. If I go and look for construction on Google,